Okay, hi everyone. Let's start with our homework, and also I want to tell you about this code. I asked you in the last session to do it, and to know that we can do it using several ways. Okay, you did it already in the last session, but I will give you a new idea, because this idea will help you in solving this and in another questions which you can find it on other exams. But this one, if you remember, it asks you to convert this flowchart to code. And if you look at this flowchart, it will ask you to initialize the variables, and the variables, it is the correct password and correct username, and it will be look like a loop if the username and the password is not correct. Okay? So if the username or password is not correct, you will need to make it look like a loop. You will need to ask user to input username and password until it will be correct answer. And if it is correct, you will display a welcome message to the user. You did it in the last session, as I mentioned before, but I will give you another idea for solving it. As I mentioned, it will help you in many other exams if you will use this idea to solve loop, or if you have a code which you will need to make it as a loop. Okay? So let's return back to the flowchart. We will initialize the variables, and then you will ask user to enter password. If it is correct username and password, if it is correct username and password, you will display a welcome message. If it is not, you will need to display an error message and ask user to input it again and again until the user will give you correct username and password. So at first, we will need to initialize the correct username and password. So let's initialize it and mention that the username or correct username and don't forget to add it between double quotation. And this is the password. And let's mention that this is the correct password. Type. How we can make it as a loop to ask user to input it? We will use the idea for while, and we will use break. What is while, true, and break? While true and break, we can use it to make a loop run continuously. But if we have a specific condition, we can go away from this loop. So I will write while true, and we will output a message, ask user to enter print, enter your username and password, or we can make it as directly in the variable. For example, password equal input, enter password, and we will need to input also the username. So let's mention that username equal input of enter username. Okay, so we will ask user to enter username and enter password. And if username equal the correct username, and password equal the correct password. So we will output a welcome message, print, welcome. Correct user name and password. And we will break, so we will mention that we will finish this loop. Okay, so if it is the same, you will welcome message and finish, you will out of this loop, else you will output a message that incorrect, invalid username and password. Okay, let's run. Check if we have any error. Okay, it will ask me to write a username. I will write, of course, incorrect username, incorrect password. So it will tell me invalid username and password. And as you can see, it will loop invalid username and password, enter username and password. Let's input بقى اليوزرنيم والباسورد الcorrect. اليوزرنيم الcorrect BARD 423. طب I will input correct username but incorrect password, and I will check if it is work or no. It must be not work. We must enter correct username and password. This is a correct username, but I will enter incorrect password. So it will tell me that it is invalid. So I have to input both of them correct. Let's input the correct username 423 and in the correct password in X capital 2934 and question mark. Okay, so it will give you welcome correct username and password. Okay, so while true, it is a loop which we can use it for loop. And if we have a condition which will stop this loop, we can use a break after this condition will be done. Okay, so I will send it to you on WhatsApp. I know that you solve it in the last session, but you solve it in another way. Most of you did it in different ways. You have to know that your answer must not be the same as Marcin. In Python or in coding, you can do it using different way. Okay? But it must be correct and work. We don't have the same answer of Marcin. يعني مثلا, for example, this answer, which I do it today, and the answer which we did it in the last session, it is not the same as Marcin. If this is incorrect, no, it is correct. Okay, so you can find on Marcin example of code. This is not the only way of code. You can do it using different way. So while we are solving exams, we can find that we have a different ways which we will learn that will help us in doing code and will make it easier for us in coding. Okay, so this way you did it in the last session. I just want to tell you another way. Okay, then in this one, it asks you that you have club. This is the homework. Let's start solving بقى الhomework. ده أول هنا كده الhomework. It asks you that it needs a computer to monitor number of books sold, amount of profit made, تمام? And that you can find that you are provided with a data structure for program, but you have to fill some of it. Okay, you will amend the code. Okay, let's check what is the criteria which we will amend in your code. At first, let's open the question code Q2B Okay, and you can find that we have already the code, but we will amend it. Okay, let's check. Amend the code. Complete the statement used to produce the output described in the table. Type. الcondition. What is the condition? Number of books sold is less than or is at least 5. خليها أكبر بس شوية عشان نبقى شايفين. We will amend the code so that number of books sold is at least 5. At least 5 يعني what is the meaning of that? It is more than or equal 5. So what is the least value? It is 5. And the profit is at least 10 يعني more than or equal 10. So if it is at least 5 and at least 10, you will output good profit. طيب, let's check. Where is the good profit? Here. Sales profit are good. So let's add at LF the condition which it told us. What is the condition? Book sold more than or equal 5, profit more than or equal 10. So let's use book sold more than or equal 5. And what is the second condition? Profit more than or equal 10. So as we mentioned today, in if condition, you will write the condition. According to the condition, you will take an action or you will do what according to this condition. Okay, so what is the condition to show that you have a good profit this week? If the book sold more than or equal 5 and the profit more than or equal 10. Let's read the second condition. Number of books sold is over 20 and profit is at least 20. السيلز and the profit are excellent. يبقى لما أشوف where is the sales and profit are excellent أهي. Sales and profit excellent. So let's write this condition in this LF, which is books sold and profit. Let's take it copy. But it told you that book sold over 20. Book sold more than 20. More than 20. And profit is at least 20. يعني 20 or more. يعني more than or equal 20. Okay? So you can check this is what I add and this is what I add as a condition. Let's read what is next. Number of books sold is under 5 or profit is under 5. Poor performance. Where is poor performance? أهي. يبقى أحط هنا I will add in this condition F the number of books sold less than 5 or, but let's check. It told you or, not and. You can find on everyone it was and, but this is or, so I have, don't forget to make it this or. Okay, all other input alert, which is else. Else I have to alert message. So let's print that you have to alert message, alert manager. Let's take it as a copy. Okay, so this is the other condition. Okay, this is clear for you? So it asks you to amend code to add these conditions according to this criteria. So you will search for the criteria and add the condition in F or LF according it is F or LF. All other inputs, which is else. So else, this is the output message which you have to do. Okay, I will send it to you. This is the first questions in your homework, which you didn't do it. أنا هفضل أزلكم كده كلكم محدش فيكم يحل الهومورك. No one didn't solve the homework. ليه؟ why؟ ده هو easy يعني. طيب اللي بعده. هنا it asks you to add test data. Test data. ماشي اوكي. طيب هو امتى the expected output هيبقى poor؟ if it is less than 5 في البروفيت أو في البوك سولد. فمثلا لو هنا if I add for example 4 في البوك سولد أو هنا مثلا 4 يبقى كده الأوتبوت will be poor performance. So you will complete this table by adding test boundaries. Okay, you can add for any number which is less than 5. طيب هنا good هو كان good امتى؟ تعالوا نفتكر، أنا مش فاكرة I cannot remember. good يعني at least 5 و at least 10 ماشي اوكي. number of books 5 والprofit at least 10. طيب يبقى هنا more than or equal 5 فأنا ممكن أحط 6. اوكي ممكن أحط 7 8 anything is acceptable 9. اوكي وهنا نفس الكلام في البروفيت هو كان واحدة 10 وواحدة كام مش فاكرة ثانية. البوك سولد at least 5 وهنا at least 10 يعني أكتر من 10 ماشي أوكي. يبقى البروفيت هنحط مثلا 10 11 أي رقم من دول acceptable 12 أي رقم يكون في الرينج بتاع الجود. تمام. طيب الإكسلنت كان إمتى؟ الإكسلنت over 20 و at least 20 ماشي يعني فوق ال 20 كده كده. يبقى أنا ممكن أحط مثلا 23. بس في حاجة هو كان قايلها لنا هنا نركز فيها إن الباوندري بتبقى عندنا 30 يعني ما نحطش رقم أكتر من 30. It's not acceptable to write 31 32 لا no more than 30. ف you have to use the test data between 20 and 30. ف 23 تمام 21 it's okay 29 it's okay but 31 is not okay 19 it's not the value of excellent. Okay so we can use 20 25 29 all of these value acceptable. Okay حتى ناخد معانا 30 دي في السكرين شوت عشان تبقوا فاكرين أنا why I didn't add 30. طيب several encryption algorithms have been developed تمام and we can find that this is the plain text and this is the cipher text after encryption. The word encryption, this is after encryption, will be like this. And if you remember, we mentioned before that encryption, it is edit or change or scramble in data to be meaningless. Okay? طيب, let's explain what is reason why Caesar cipher is weak encryption. طب, let's mention at first or explain or remember what is the Caesar cipher. We have different types of encryptions. Let's remember at first encryption and different types of encryption. طيب, let's remember what is the encryption. Encryption, it is change or scramble in data to be meaningless. Change or scramble in data. Why? To make it meaningless. To be meaningless. For what? For hackers. Why we are making encryption? Because of hackers. To prevent hackers from understanding data, because if the hacker will get the data, it will be meaningless. What is the different types of encryption? We have different types of encryption. Okay, at first, we have Big Bang, cipher, we have Caesar, cipher, we have Visioneer, cipher, and we have Rail Fence cipher. Okay, but let's at first understand how we can make encryption, and let's remember or explain how each one of encryption is work. Like, for example, let's start with encryption, normal encryption, to understand what is encryption. If I will send to you a message, for example, I want to say hello, okay, or hi lion, hello, or hi lion, any message, hi lion. Okay, we have something we call it as encryption key. This is called encryption key. What is encryption key? It will tell you which number or which letter you will substitute with the letter. Yeah, for example, H, we will substitute it with L. E, we will substitute it with O. I, we will substitute it with A. Y, we will substitute it with N. Okay, comma, we will substitute it with dot. So let's now substitute or change or scramble the data. Okay, this we call it as a plain text. And after encryption, after we will change it, we call it as cipher text. ممكن نكتب cipher كده أو في كتب بتكتب cipher كده، الاتنين تمام. طيب, let's substitute H with L. So it will be L, E with O, O, L with H, H, O with E. So hello will be lohi. Of course, this is a message which can be found by hacker. Of course, this is meaningless. You didn't understand what I want to say. So hacker can get a message. We didn't say that hacker cannot get the message. You are on internet. You all computers connected together. So they can get the message, but it will be meaningless. Okay, who will be able to read the message and will read it correctly? Who have the encryption key? Who have this one? Okay, so we have different way of encryption. We will change or scramble the data to be meaningless. Why we make it meaningless? For hackers. For example, if I want to say send hi lion, it will be L-A dot lion, H-L-A will be I, L-Y will be N, I will N will be Y. طبعا we didn't understand anything. It is meaningless again. So this is the plain text, and this is the cipher text. Okay, and what we are doing, this we make encryption. So what is the encryption? It is change or scramble and data to be meaningless. We have different way of encryption, which is Big Pen, Caesar, Visioneer, and Rail Fence. Okay, what is Caesar? which we can find it in our exam. Caesar cipher, we will make shift with a fixed number of with a fixed number. For example, what is the letters which we have? A, B, C, D, E, and so on. E, F, G, H, and so on. So let's make Caesar encryption as we will shift 3. So A, I will replace it with after 3. 1, 2, 3. So I will replace A with D, B with E, C with F, and so on. Okay, so you will make encryption with fixed number. So if you get 1 or 2 letters, so you can easily guess the encryption key, because this is the encryption key. So if you got the idea that it makes shift 3 or shift 1 or shift 2, because it is shift in fixed number of alphabets or letters, okay? So you can easily guess the other. So this is a type of encryption which is weak, okay? Why? Because you can guess it easily. If you got the idea of 1, you can find or guess the encryption key, okay? So this is why the Caesar cipher, it is weak encryption. Because you can guess it easily, and if you know 1 or 2 encryption key, you can easily guess or know the encryption key for all of the letters. Now let's check another type of encryption, which is called Vigenère square. What is the Vigenère square? Vigenère square, you can find that we have this square and we have a key word. Yeah, for example, we can find that the keyword is thirsty. So we will write the keyword here. And if you finish, you can repeat it again. Okay? And then you will check where is the encrypted letter, where is the keyword to find the decrypted letter, يعني F and T. You will check where is the F اهي, where is the T تحت شوية اهي. فالانترسكشن ما بينهم ادي الاف اهي، ننزل كده اهو 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 لحد تي، يبقى ده الانكريبتد letter and so on. Okay, so you can find L and H. So let's check where is L اهي, where is the H اهي, L and H. So you can, or this is the encrypted letter which we will use it. Okay, so it is a way for encryption. We will use on it a keyword. You have to use a keyword. Okay, this is a Vigenère square, which you can use it to find the encrypted keyword. So as I mentioned, we have another way which is called Vigenère, and this it work or it use keyword. Okay, and using this keyword, we can use it to shift letters. Okay, and each letter in the key determines the shift of corresponding. Yeah, for example, we can mention that A, الشفت is 0, B, الشفت is 1, C, الشفت is 2, and so on. So if it is A, you will shift 0. If it is B, so you will shift 1 letter. Or you can easily find it from this square. If you have a Vigenère square, you can easily find it from this square. Okay, because you can find that A shift is 0. يعني you can find A, it is A, B, it is B, and so on. B shift is 1, so A will be shifted to B, and B will be shifted to C. So you can see that we shift 1. C, we can find that we shift 2. So A, we shifted 2. So A can be replaced by C. B will be replaced by D, and so on. So you can use it, or we can find that we can easily use this visionary square to find according to the letter and according to the letter in keyword and the letter on the text, we can find easily the encrypted message. So of course, cipher, it is easy because cipher, we have a fixed number of shift, but this, we don't have a fixed number of shift because you have to know what is the keyword. And as you can find in this keyword, each letter has different number of shift. Yani T, for example, we can find how many shifts you will do. In I, how many shifts you will do. So you can find that it is more complex than Caesar encryption. Okay, so as we mentioned before, we have different ways of encryption, like Caesar encryption or cipher and visionary encryption. Okay, and also we have Big Pen encryption. And this type of encryption, we can use it to make substitution cipher. يعني what is the meaning of that? يعني for example, if I want to make it for word hello, and we want to use the Big Pen encryption. So, for example, we will take a look at each part of the text, and we will check what is the visual representation for it. يعني for example, if I have for example, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so it does look like a mirror. We will check what is the letter which we can represent it with this letter. Okay, so we can use a sample as it does look like grad of X. It is the mirror of the letters. Okay, so we can find that we have more than visual symbol for this type of encryption. Okay, so we have, as we mentioned, we have different types of encryptions which we can use it. And I think that now you can easily solve this. You can use the square or the square to find the replacement for the text. Okay. Okay. طيب, what also we have in our homework, we have that well, I think it wasn't in your homework. Let's check if I finished solving with you your homework or no. To B and C only. Okay, يبقى دي ما كانش عندنا, it wasn't as a homework. So I finished solving with you your homework. I hope that you try to do. يعني I know maybe you can do it or you cannot, but try. Because I found that all of you didn't send the homework, and this is the first time that all of you didn't send the homework. From the start of the course, yeah. We have 3 months. This is the first time I can see that no one sent homework to me. So if you have a problem, please share with me that I couldn't solve this. I